So today's post, which I haven't done one forever, I wanted to talk about how the psychology of what people do motivates them. Like, I meet a lot of very interesting people on social media, and I'm like, I just love it. I love being able to talk to people from all walks of life, and you would otherwise never get to meet these people. Well, I feel you would never get to meet these people if you were given the opportunity without social media to meet people. It's usually people within your immediate community or social circles. It's a friend of a friend, but you wouldn't know each other. The world has gotten smaller because of social media, and the psychology of what drives people to do what they want to do and express themselves. We're all looking for a way to heal or know ourselves better. I do it. Like, I'm on this never-ending quest to understand myself better than what I've ever understood myself, and I think that as actively as I pursue it, I still have a long way to go, and yet I probably know myself better than most people know themselves, and there's a sense of mania that comes, through this process. It's like this manic, desperate desire to know yourself and understand what makes you tick, so that you can be a better person for this world. Well, at least that's my motivation. My motivation is to be a better person to the people that I either have met or have yet to meet in this world, to leave an impact in this world, and make a difference. And I think that, like, the people that I've encountered over the last few months have definitely helped me get to better understand myself and what drives me, as much as I might have also helped them as well. I started kinesiology about 9 years ago as one of my treatments to better health and better understanding of myself. And it's an alternate treatment like Reiki or reflexology. It's like that kind of treatment. And in that journey, I uncovered quite a lot about myself. But there's nothing like life crises to force you, in the discomfort of it all, to try and understand yourself a bit better, and to see yourself. I think, like, a lot of us live on the surface, and we definitely don't uncover the sides of ourselves that are authentic, because we just sweep it under the rug and hope that things will get better, or we think that by not addressing certain things, that things will get better, or they'll go away, or whatever it is. And I've definitely been guilty of that in the last couple of years. And I just think it's the surface lifestyle that we live in. And the psychology that motivates me to do that is to avoid the confrontation that comes from it, or the hurt that you might inflict on another, just by simply being honest. Which makes me wonder what type of society we are living in, that you can't be honest with those who are closest to you for fear that you might hurt their feelings. And if you can't be honest with them, then you end up suffering inwardly, because you've had to hide your honesty, and basically essentially lie to yourself and to the rest of the world about how you truly feel on a situation. So I don't know if this makes any sense to anyone at this point in time, but this is kind of where my head's like rolling around at the moment with, like, what it's rolling around at the moment with, where there's there's just such a sense of dishonesty and hiding because of the fear that we feel that our actions will impact on another person's life. I think maybe we take too much responsibility for other people's lives. I think that we're not selfish enough. I know I certainly am not selfish enough. But then, you also have to look at it as more of a gray area, because it boils down to compassion and timing. And is the reason why you need to be a little bit quiet for that moment and suffer in silence, is that not your own journey to try and uncover, parts of yourself through this discomfort that you're faced with? I know this might seem like a lot of rambling right now, but I'm just kind of toying with a few ideas, and I haven't done a post for a while, and I feel like I need to break the ice, and this is where my head is at right now, where your reality and your fantasy kind of collide, and the psychology that motivates you to keep that fantasy world alive in your life as opposed to facing the reality. It's kind of like how your social media profile is always happy as opposed to a little mix of everything, and the fantasy in your life is there to not only shield others from bitter truths, but it's also there to shield yourself from facing some of your own truths. And maybe it's time to let that veil down a little bit, even if it's just an inch at a time, so you can start to pick away at some of those truths, because you never know who you might uncover within yourself by facing those truths, if that makes any sense. So that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully it won't be another month or two before I do the next video. Anyway.